Hello, welcome to Cinemadness.
For the first time tonight.
Quarantine episode 14. And we are talking all things Harry Potter tonight. And as you can see, we have two special guests with us. If you guys are fans of our podcast, you have heard his lovely voice. He was one of our first guests, but now you can see his beautiful face. It's Mr. Keith. Hi, Keith.
Hi.
And then Keith has his beautiful daughter, Sirena. Hi, Sirena.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us. We brought Sirena on. I know we've never had any kids on before, but we wanted to talk to a kid about Harry Potter. She's a big fan, and we wanted to talk about how it's influenced on kids and all that good stuff. So go ahead. For people who don't know you, Keith, that haven't listened to us before, Keith is a beer blogger, but go ahead and what else do you do, Keith?
So I teach full time. That's my day job, which we're pushing to go back. I think next few weeks. But yeah, I teach history, so U.S. history, world history, AP Human Geography. I also do the beer blog thing, which has become really focused on. When I first started, it was kind of just beer in general. Then it was more Florida related. Now it's become really hyper local, especially in COVID, trying to push to support the local businesses that are struggling, highlight what they're putting out, what they're doing, what new beers are happening, just reasons to go see them, which breweries are open for to go, which ones are open because they have food, that sort of stuff. Supporting our local people.
Yes.
Works in St. Pete. Yeah, that's really the big thing, is just hyping them up, talking about what they're doing. I had the website going and then I took it down. I'm trying to do some work on that because I do want to actually start promoting at least one a month, like a big write up on what they're doing and some pictures of what they've got going on. So trying to expand that whole thing. But
very cool.
Okay. Nice.
What grade are you in, Sirena?
School. Then I'm going into 5th grade.
Nice.
Nice.
Very
yep.
And I'm 5.
5.
Oh, feet.
5 feet. She's tall. And you guys
She's
got
5 feet tall.
You guys got new kitties. You guys got new cats, right? What are
10.
What are your cats' names?
Luna and Pandora.
Luna and Pandora. Very good. 2 Harry Potter.
Black kitties, yep.
Harry Potter.
That's right. Before we start talking about our main topic, movie news, nothing really new this week except the AMC deal they struck with Universal. Now they only have to show Universal movies in the theater for 17 days, and then they will go straight to on demand. So that'll be good for people like Roman who like to watch them at home. And it's become very popular during this time. So you only have to wait a couple weeks. And which one's that?
That's Luna.
Luna. So that's the little baby.
Yeah, she's 4.5 months old.
Aw. She needs Luna Lovegood glasses.
I think Adam has some.
Yes, I know. Where's your glasses? There you go.
So real quick, just getting into a little bit of the AMC and Universal news. I know we touched on a little bit of how that's affecting the movie theaters in previous Zoomcasts. I know Adam loves when I say that, so I'll say that a couple more times. But Adam, I believe you were saying during prep that Regal hasn't made that same agreement with Universal. Is that accurate?
Not that I heard. The article I read just talked about AMC and how they picked their foot back up off the ground after they set it down for saying no to Universal. That was a terrible analogy. I'm glad we didn't go
about putting their foot down, but
That's right.
Yeah. So I think what we really all want to talk about is how long until we see the Fast and the Furious movie?
Right? That's what we all want to see.
I
Yes,
think
that's
so.
totally the movie I'm waiting for.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Not Top Gun, not anything else.
Okay, since we brought up Top Gun last Zoomcast, I had to bring up that because I said last week, I said if Top Gun gets pushed back even farther than from when it was pushed back in December, Mike might kill himself. So
No, like Mike and I have a mandate to see that movie. Like
I know. So, well, first it was out on his birthday, and then I got moved to December. And so the other night I was in the room, and somebody posted online, and I could tell he was scrolling because all of a sudden it was you, it was Adam. All of a sudden I hear Mike go, "God damn it!" And I'm like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, "Oh my God, it got moved again."
Everything keeps getting moved, and I keep getting bummed. I'm like, no, but that one.
Yeah, so I mean, I warned you guys. It's doing damage to him.
It's seriously, and then like I will see randomly, like I get a little light in my eyes because something releases, and I'm like, oh, Hulu has a movie that I haven't seen, like Palm Springs, and it was actually pretty funny and cute. I'm like, oh, there's a movie that actually.
So let me talk about that real quick because I saw that you like it. You and a gajillion other people like it. I only lasted about 20 minutes, and maybe because I wasn't in the mindset.
Okay.
But I wasn't digging it, but I really want to give it another shot because everybody is saying how good it is. I'm like hit or miss when it comes to Andy Samberg, and apparently that day I was a miss because it was just like Andy Samberg trying to do Groundhog Day, and I wasn't hitting it.
Kristen Milioti, she's like, crush.
I'm going to give it another shot because apparently so many people watched it the first weekend out. If it had gone to theaters, it would have been like number one. It would have been millions and millions of dollars. I'm going to give it another
J.K.
shot.
Simmons too, like, you know, he was.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff in it. It's just, yeah, it's to me, it was kind of like the comparison I used was Groundhog Day meets like Hot Tub Time Machine, and you throw them together.
Yeah, I could see that.
Slapstick kind of comedy, but like also existential dread, like because you've lived in the day. Because I mean, it doesn't really say how long he's lived in that day, but it's definitely longer than Bill Murray was living in that.
It was, and I think that's what was weird for me. But I'll watch it again. Did you guys see that movie?
I saw that it was there. I didn't know what it was because it never got any advertisement. It was just like Palm Springs is on Hulu.
Yeah, I read about it.
It was like nothing.
Yeah, he's stuck in the same day over and over again and gets this girl stuck in it with him.
Oh, and he gets a guy stuck in it too. There's like
does he? All right, I haven't got it.
There's like 3 of them stuck in it. I'm not trying to spoil for anybody, but it's
okay.
Okay.
I'll watch it. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I haven't really watched anything this week. Even if I did, we're not going to do it on the podcast or the Zoomcast. We're going to do separate ones, right?
We don't do reviews anymore on the show.
That's what we do now. So,
yeah.
Well, we're just going to move on to the nitty gritty of the show. I like saying nitty gritty and meat and potatoes. Have you noticed that?
But don't make your meat and potatoes nitty and gritty.
No, gritty potatoes. I don't know how I feel about that.
Gritty potatoes are just grits, right?
No, that's corn.
I mean, potatoes are in there, so they have to have potatoes. But
I like grits. Okay.
Grits are made from corn.
To Roman's dismay, I chose Harry Potter to talk about this week. I guess we're just going to start with, and obviously, you know, I think I said this before, we're not going to go into the books because this isn't book madness. It's Cinemadness. So we're going to talk about movies. Our guests just keep on losing. There she is.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
They just keep disappearing. Oh, maybe he has an invisibility cloak.
Ooh, wow.
So, we're going to start with Adam.
Hi.
Hi. So, when did you first get into Harry Potter? Was it from the movies? Was it from the books? Because the first book came out when we were adults. I mean, we were graduating high school. So
yeah, there's a difference between my first introduction to Harry Potter and when I got into it. The first thing I ever did was I was dragged to the first movie by my girlfriend, and I think I fell asleep in it, and I hated it for a long time until the second movie came out, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then the next day after seeing the second movie, I went out and picked up the third book, and I stood there and started reading the book itself in the aisle before even buying it. I was that enamored by it, and I just kept And
So you didn't have the first 2 books before you bought the 3rd book?
no, I watched the first 2 movies, and then I started reading, and then after a while, I went back and read the books, the other 2. But then I just started devouring the books.
Oh, so you read the 3rd book before the first book.
Yes.
She just went based off information from the movies and just kind of rolled with it.
Yeah.
We
Which the
have
first 2, I guess, if you were going to do it, I mean, as far as variants, probably you'd be all right. Like,
Yeah. There's not a lot of stuff they kept out of the first 2.
we have
Yeah,
Lego
same-
characters.
it's in the later books where they really start.
Whoa. That's cool.
Lego
Yes.
characters.
Everyone just keeps leaving.
My door mysteriously opened up. What you got there, Serena?
We have Lego characters of Harry Potter.
Yes.
She has her Harry Potter. I have Snape.
Ah.
So Serena,
Yeah.
at what age do you remember watching Harry Potter for the first time?
Hmm.
She watched it casually, like the first couple, like Christmassy movies or whatever, like when she was like really little.
Mhm.
But I think about 2 years ago, we started diving into like watching them through. It just became a thing. Like we were just like, hey, at night we'll watch this movie, and then like a couple nights later we'd watch this one, and we kind of just went through them. I was hesitant about letting her watch the last couple for a little while, just because there's some stuff. It's a little rough in there, and some lose some characters and whatnot. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
kind of powered
And,
through them all.
Keith, same question, my friend. First memory watching Harry Potter, the films, any of them.
I saw the first one in theaters, which was, what year did it come out? I'm still bad at this game.
2001?
Bad at the game later. I'm looking because we have it playing in the background. What year did the first movie come out?
2001?
2001.
Okay. Yeah, so that was wait, let's try to think what you guys have an exact date?
I
I think it was holiday.
want to say May.
Oh yeah, I do remember where I saw it. I was living in California. I had like my ex-wife and I moved from Hawaii because September 11th happened.
Mm.
And I remember like the Christmassy season, but there was a theater where there's this fun theater in Northern California where we lived. You could just pay to see a movie, and as long as you bought snacks and stuff, like they didn't care if you movie hopped or whatever. So we definitely saw like that and more than just that day. But I remember seeing it. So it was 2001. Man, it's been forever. I mean, today is what Harry's 40th birthday, right? Is it this weekend? I think it's this weekend, right?
I don't know. We don't do research.
I'm pretty sure, like, because Swamphead up in Swamphead Brewery is doing a
Yeah.
day this weekend for Harry's 40th birthday. That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, so I was 21 when I saw it.
Okay.
Of the general average, but like, I don't know, man. Like, I saw that, and then I worked for Target for years when the books were coming out. So I did the electronic sets for when the books would come out, and I just remember like being there, super late at night, getting ready for the next early morning release for the books or the book coming out. And that was awesome. I mean, I think about it then, like how many books we're actually going through versus, what book sales look like now. Just do the digital thing. I'm a book person. I like the actual physical book in my hand.
Yeah. Me too. I have all the books.
Okay.
Well, she got the set for her birthday this year.
I can go get it.
So we're pretty excited. She's like excited to be reading through those. She started it. She's
Nice.
The Lexile, she is good with Lexile for like 1, 2, and 3, I think. And I figure by the time she like starts moving up, she'll be good.
Yeah, they get
Mhm.
bigger and bigger. I'm completely opposite from you guys. I read the first book. It was introduced to me by somebody I went to school with since we were like 5. And she was a big book head. And then we went to college together and she told me about it and I bought it. I liked it. It was cool. I wasn't like completely hooked, like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. But I felt like a little bit of Narnia involved in it. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I think the second book came out right around the time that the first movie came out. I don't remember. But the first movie came out. And I thought it was awesome. Looking back on it, not my favorite movie. It's not a great movie. But at the
It's in the
time,
background. It's definitely not my favorite thing.
no. At the time, I had nothing to compare it to. I saw that Chris Columbus was doing it. It was very Christmassy, so I was all about it. And then I was just super excited because everything that I read was coming to life exactly how I thought it would in my head. So from there I was hooked, and then I just kept reading all the books, and obviously I would read the book before I went to see the movie.
Obviously.
Yes, look it.
So
There's the books.
Look how big they've gone over the years. That's
I know.
Like beginning to like, yeah.
And then also I have the other older.
No, she's got the.
Hey, I've got that book.
First Child.
I mean, it's the
That's the
last
after,
one.
yeah.
That's the play.
It's not innocent.
Yeah. That's
Adam knows what I'm going to say. I loaned Adam that book 2 years ago, and he has yet to watch and listen, read it.
oh yeah,
One of those.
huh?
So I watched all the movies and then read the books. So I was backwards because I figured I'd already dove into the movies at that point, and I just kind of watched them. And I was working a lot, so just the idea, like, I love reading, but especially once I started teaching too, like there was no time for pleasure reading. It was like reading for work. I went back and read the books, and I'm excited to read them again now because she's reading them.
Yeah.
Read them again too, and like it'd be something we share.
Yeah, that would be fun to read them.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how we were introduced. Did it did it affect you a lot? Like when you watched the movies, did it why did it resonate with you?
I love magic, like the idea of magic. I mean, since I was a kid, I've always been into. And I just remember the pushback that the movies were getting, like in the books, like people were protesting because, like, oh, the evil of magic. I was super pumped that kids were reading. I mean, this is like, I just remember here I am, like in my 20s, and kids were coming with book releases and like buying these books, saving up their money. Like I was saving up my money for my first records. Like these kids were like saving up their money to buy these books when they came out. So that's awesome. Or the movies when they came out. And I threw Snape's hair. This is not Snape. I was really pumped about magic. Like it was so cool that, I mean, it's a thing that, doesn't exist, but we all want it to exist. And I get there's some pieces of nostalgia with the Christmassy stuff in the first couple of movies. I don't know. I fell for it hard. Like, we all wanted, like, for me, it was growing up, not really being accepted, and then kind of that resonating, the pieces of him being kind of not accepted at all by a lot of the peers, and then, being able to do something about it. Like, I don't know. For me, the idea of being an outcast and still like finding your way is a cool movie.
My turn.
Okay, excellent.
So I got into it by magic, and my dad also showed me it
Yeah.
too.
Just started like being interested in the Legos and like the toys and the wands and stuff. I had friends that had you guys know Gabe and Christina,
Yeah.
Allison does. Their baby shower was Harry Potter themed, and so we were able to get like wands and stuff, and it just became a cool, like, I think for her age, it becomes the imagination piece of it, being able to play like I have a wand and I'm doing spells. And
Okay.
we all had those movies when we were kids that did the same thing for us. I mean,
Well, thank you very much for sharing. So, Allison, how about you answer your own question, and then we'll rotate to Adam.
I'm a little different. I don't care. I mean, magic is cool, and I guess it's cooler because of Harry Potter, but that didn't grab me so much. The thing that grabbed me was, again, I go back to Narnia. So it's the thought of you live somewhere and then you can go into this magical place. So, he lived in London and he was able to go to school at this cool castle and learn how to be a wizard. And I just thought that was so cool. Like, I wanted to get a letter and I wanted to go on the train and I wanted to go to all these classes. Like, it made school look cool. And when I first saw him go into Hogsmeade and get all his school supplies, I just lost it because everybody loved getting school supplies, right? Like that was the best part of when school started. School is cool and you get your new clothes and you pick out your trapper keeper. Wow, I'm showing my age. And, you do all this stuff. And his version of school supplies was a wand and an owl. Like, it's awesome. And I just thought it was so cool. So the fantasy part is what drew me in. And then as the books went on, it was the characters that I fell in love with, because every character is so deep, has so many layers. There's so many different levels of these stories, and they do touch on it in the movies, obviously not as much as in the books, but there's so many things that are going on in our life now, my life 20 years ago, so many things that people can relate to, whether it's being bullied, whether it's being different from everybody else, being that mean kid, being the smart kid that no one wants to be like, and Miss Hermione knows everything. So every character, somebody could find themselves in it. And I just found myself like connecting with all the characters. And it was really emotional every time I watched a movie and read a book. So it just resonated with me like nothing ever has ever. It's just,
I definitely cried a couple times. I feel you. Like there were.
I mean, every time after the first movie, and every time I'd go to a movie and see the previews, because most of the Harry Potter movies always came out around Christmas until Deathly Hallows, because they split it up. When I saw the Warner Brothers logo come in with the smoke and the fog and the little piano noise thing, like I immediately got teary-eyed because I was so excited. And I just, like, I'll probably cry on this podcast just talking about it because it's just so emotional for me. And nothing has ever come close to it.
Okay. Excellent. Adam, same question. Going down the line, Mr. Blue Hair.
The one that's all dressed up really has nothing to say. I love the characters. I love the relationships, the friendships. I didn't really have close friendship relationships, like a group of friends. It always stuff like the Goonies and Stand By Me and all that really got to me, because it was just something I always wanted and never had. And these are people that will die for you in 7 different scenarios, because he gets into trouble 7 different times. And you don't see that kind of loyalty anymore, especially nowadays. It's really hard to see any type of loyalty in fiction or nonfiction. It's kind of a dreary world we live in now. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of good to go back and watch those and see, people really, really laying down their lives just so another person can succeed, instead of, making it all about them. And I'll go with Allison. It's the characters really is what does it for me.
Okay.
That's a really good point you brought up with the friends, because I think that's good for younger kids now to see those relationships, because if you look at it, I don't know how old they were when they first started year one, maybe 12-ish, 11, 12-ish. And then if you keep reading the books and watching the movies, they stayed friends when they were married and had kids. That's very rare for you to find a best friend that you keep for more than 10 years of your life. And I have a couple, and I'm very thankful for that. But it's rare. In your adult years, it's very rare for you to find a best friend now. And Keith has one. Keith was lucky to have one. But you know what I mean? Like it's.
We had that conversation last night. Mike and I were talking about that. It's like when you find your best friend in your 30s, and like you.
Right. It's weird, but you guys are really rare. That's rare for that to happen, because by then you're set in your ways, and it's kind of hard to meet somebody, and you can be casual with them, but to have that connection, that's very unique. So I think kids can see those that as an example. That it's about loyalty and being there for people, stopping everything you're doing to be there for that person. I mean, obviously you're not going to save them from a wicked wizard, but hey.
But it's the realism of the friendships too. Like, everything's not roses like the entire time of friendships. Like, there's jealousy, there is like bitterness between, like, especially if you look at between Ron and Harry, like the bitterness, like in a couple, like it comes up in a couple movies where Ron gets jealous of the relationship that he has with Hermione, but also the kind of competition piece of it. I mean, that's the real life of school and what friendships look like, and being able to resolve those things and come past it. I think it's huge. I mean, I see it every day at work. Like kids,
absolutely.
stuff, and these kids are no different. Like they go through stuff. Like their friendships come out the other side of it.
And there are ghosts.
There are ghosts. Oh yeah, I mean John Cleese. Come on, like
Right. Nearly Headless Nick.
Yeah, John Cleese, Roman. That's something that you can say is kind
John
of funny.
Cleese, Roman. That's a name you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so before we go on to like the next topic, so Roman, I know you posted on our website, the reason why you're not really a Harry Potter fan. And we're not bashing you. We're not gonna make this a bashing session because it's not everybody's cup of tea.
Okay.
So is there anything that can you see what we're saying and why it resonated with us, or can you see a little bit of positivity and why it means something to us?
Hearing you guys talk, it reminds me a little bit of like going through MoMA. For those of you who don't know what MoMA is, that's Museum of Modern Art in New York. And there's this one painting that all it is just flat red color on the wall. And these people are just looking at it going, oh, wow, that is so deep. Whereas I'm walking by going,
right.
So I'm not getting the same thing, and I'm not hating on it. And that's to each their own. I've tried to do everything I can to get into it because I want to be in the inside jokes. I want to, really dig it. And now I believe we're going to touch on this a little bit later. I love Fantastic Beasts. I absolutely love those series. They're very good, and we can probably talk more about it or later show or however we grow into it. But I first was introduced to Harry Potter. I was working at Walden Books, a bookstore for those kids who don't know, Miss Sirena.
Love that place.
And we were setting up because the big Harry Potter was one of the books was going to be released soon after I was hired. And my supervisor at the time, she basically gave me an ultimatum to either lose my job or read Harry Potter. So, of course, I read Harry Potter. And I read it. I was expecting every page, I was expecting some payoff. I was expecting, some hook. I didn't. I read it. I'm like, okay, great. To the point where my supervisor even quizzed me on it, assuming that I didn't read it. No, I read it. Yeah. And what? And it's like, you don't love it? And it's like, no. You know what, Adam? It kind of reminds me a little bit of The Stuff. Remember the movie The Stuff?
I love The Stuff. You know that.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of that, where it's like, do you love it? No. The movies itself, I was introduced to the films. When it first came out, I didn't care to watch it. There was other things going on. So the films themselves, I was eventually introduced by the girl I was dating at the time. She was really into Harry Potter. So she put it on one rainy day, and I got caught up because I wanted to take her to the newest Harry Potter film because that's what she wanted to do. And it is. I mean, I'm really stoked that you guys can get such from it. I've sat in it. I've watched them sober. I've watched them in an analytical eye. I've watched them as a kid, and I'm pretty certain I'll probably watch them with my son when he eventually checks them out. So I'm really glad that you guys can get such from it. I'm not hating on it. It's just not my thing, man. I'm almost jealous in one ways because Adam didn't like it like me, and then he liked it. I'm a little bit jealous. I'm like, what am I missing? I don't get it.
It's it sounds to me like it's the if it was a school for adults, well, not a school, but I think it's the kids stuff that you're not really feeling.
So if it was from like if it was a movie from the professor's perspective, like them, like them in the teachers' lounge venting about the kids, or whatever. Like
Yes!
Can you imagine what that version looks like?
Oh man, that would actually be great.
Like the Cheers, but like them at the bar, like talking about how bad their day was or whatever. Like,
well,
Nighttime
I
at the
know,
Three Broomsticks.
I know this is not. I know it's not.
Elvis!
He was in there all the time. It's fine.
I know it's not TV podcast. I know it's Cinemadness, the podcast. But Enrique, not Iglesias, Fluffy.
Oh, Gabriel
Fluffy.
Iglesias.
Gabriel Iglesias. He has a show on Netflix that as soon as you said that, Keith, I imagined that type of environment where you would see like, the teacher's lounge and Gabriel Iglesias is sitting and talking to, the rest of the staff about magic. That would actually be great. I would probably love that.
So what I appreciate though is that Roman's like, I didn't love it, but I love that you guys love it.
Yes.
Me, like that's amazing. Like, you know what? It wasn't my cup of tea, but I'm so glad that it spoke to you guys. And I think movies like that are like pop culture phenoms that like we just never, like for whatever reason, just never spoke to us. Like I have never watched Titanic. Every time I've tried to watch it, I fall asleep. I have no urge to watch it. But I appreciate that it meant so much to so many different people. And good for them,
And I tried to see Godzilla, but every time I see Godzilla, I always fall asleep too. So.
Oh. Okay.
I didn't
Yeah, the new
Okay,
one. Like we've tried to watch it multiple times and she falls asleep.
Yeah.
She loves 11. Like she was super pumped that she's in it, and then just falls every
I
time.
get that. I can see that. I actually think Roman would love The Cursed Child because it's all adults. It's all way
It's
in
them
the
as
future.
adults, right? Yeah.
All right.
You would go see the play.
Well, when Adam's done with the book, I'll be certain to give it a read, okay?
I'll just skip over him and give it to you because it's a play. It's written in a play form, so you might like it. So
Okay, yeah. You know what? You got me not saying no. You don't have me going, no. I'll give it a spin. And but the thing that has really opened my eyes is seeing the culture that you guys have really enjoyed and embraced. And also while preparing for this show, I read blogs, I've read or watched YouTube videos. I've watched, try to submerge myself in terms of what exactly is the effect on Harry Potter. And one thing that I can't say enough, and this is one of the reasons why I'm so happy Miss Serena's on, is I read this little girl, she had this blog and she said, Harry Potter was the first book that I read in second grade. And ever since then, I've grown with the books, and she explained as to why. That touched me so much, that a book of that caliber helped basically guide, just a kid on that journey of life. And that's really awesome. And I can't say it enough.
It becomes important to, it's like we can say the same thing about, there are movies or records or video games that have just meant the world to us. Like we go back to them and it's like, it's just that meant the world to me. And not everybody's going to get that. But I appreciate that, Roman, you were able to appreciate that for that. Like, love it because it means something to someone else. That's
And getting back to my piece that I put on our website at cinemadnesspodcast.com, by the way, I talked about, how, I just don't feel the magic. I wish that I had an owl. That would be awesome. Hootie, what's up, dude? All right, cool. I'll be at school in 10 minutes.
Hootie.
Cool.
Hootie.
Yeah, exactly. To be jonesing in, with my little sweater vest, because real men wear sweater vests. Everyone knows that. To have your tie.
Do you wear the sweater vest with a shirt underneath it, or you just let the hair just do the thing?
It depends how awesome I feel that day. There's some days
you should always feel at your best. Like you should let it out. Just let it.
No. But no.
Mark McGrath it with just that, and that's it. It's just that sweater vest and some Dickie.
Okay.
Oh man.
Dickie khakis, and just roll with it. It's fine.
Am I the only one that's picturing Roman at Hogwarts just using the same dad joke of, hey, nice hooter?
Out in the owl room, the mail room, just hanging out there.
Hourly.
The owlery.
Hey guys, you check that out? Isn't that cool? Oh man. Oh.
You might get a girl, one of them, who knows. You touched on a subject,
Ghost store.
you
Mhm.
yeah, nobody came in. It's weird.
Invisibility cloak.
You touched on a point. You touched on something. I actually did the same thing. I went online because, again, it didn't affect my life. I just really, really liked it. But I was interested to know because I remember hearing a lot of stories about how teachers were like so happy that kids were reading this book, and it brought, kids, it made them excited about reading again. And then there was that huge, Keith touched on this, there's this huge controversy. And I had a family member actually say the same thing. Religious people were all up in arms, like, you shouldn't be having these kids read this Satanism and witchcraftery
Black
and
magic.
all this stuff.
Right. Well, and I was like, oh, it's super cool they're reading, and then they're like, oh, but they're reading about
Right.
witchcraft. I'm like,
Right.
really?
Like, first of all, no. But second of all, like, give me a break. They're reading. So you actively seeked out something negative to say about kids reading. So that's
Well, and I got my parents who were active Christians, like that, my dad and my stepmom who were active Christians, to finally like get past that and actually watch it, and they loved it. Like it just took it took a long time of breaking down some walls to do that.
Yeah. And I saw that I read a lot of little stories. Like there's this one girl that she lost both of her parents. I don't know how, but they both passed away, and she was 12, and she picked up the book, and she immediately obviously felt connected with Harry. And then there was other kid that was always the one that, dressed differently from everybody else and wasn't following the crowd and wanted to do his own thing. So he obviously, felt a connection with Luna. There was another girl that would read Harry Potter with her grandmother, and then her grandmother passed away. And so it's just reminding her of that. So it's like, these things really affected these people, and there's just this huge connection with it and a huge community with all these people. And I don't know, that's just really touching. So you can say that about a lot of things.
There are characters for everyone, though. That's the thing, is like, you're like, man, and there's a lot of that like resonating with the outcast. I mean, like, and that can be on any of them. I mean, because later on, like, you feel like Malfoy is an outcast. Like, he really, the torn, like, stuff that he has to kind of deal with. There's something for everyone. I think, like, for most people, they can resonate with a character of some sort. And that's huge. I mean, like, for a kid that's looking to belong somewhere and they can't find it in the real world, sometimes reading a book and finding it somewhere else is huge. It just makes you feel like somewhere.
Absolutely.
And you go to Comic-Con and you see these people who are really, really pumped about it, and you're like, man, I love how excited you are for this thing.
Yeah.
I'm George Plimpton for Walden Books. The Duke of Windsor was King of England when his love for the American divorcee Wallis Simpson became more important to him than his crown. The woman he loved tells this whole story of their courtship, his abdication, the marriage, and the sensation caused around the world. Here it is, The Woman He Loved, which is the story of one of the greatest romances of our time. It's now at Walden Books. Call this number for the store nearest you.
Hey out there in listening land, just a reminder to follow us on social media on the following platforms for polls, games, and behind-the-scenes shenanigans. We love our fans, and thank you for keeping us alive by following us and joining our Patreon. Thank you, and let's keep the good vibes going.
Okay, so next let's talk about houses. 4 houses, all unique, all based on people that lived in Hogwarts and went to school.
How great would it be if we're all 4 in different houses? Like, if we had all 4 houses.
That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
It would be cool.
I
So,
wonder if we do.
But it's not going to happen.
no. So, we'll start with the person who is clearly dressed in their robes and the blue hair. Adam is obviously Ravenclaw. Yes, Ravenclaw. What are you, Keith? Have you been sorted?
I'm wearing my shirt.
We are
Oh, he's Slytherin. Are
We're
you
both
Slytherin?
Slytherins.
Are you Slytherin too?
Mhm.
I
Okay.
took the test 3 times just to make sure.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
And she took it, I think, twice, and she's Slytherin both times. She was
Huh.
bummed, and then I had to explain to her like
Aw.
great things about being a Slytherin. So
Slytherins are badass.
really make it
Yeah.
seem bad to be a Slytherin, but like one of my favorite characters is a Slytherin. So
One thing that I love about Slytherin that no one really talks about is that their love of rules. And it's so different because they always got put in a bad light in the movies, but they're very strict on, following the rules. Unlike Ravenclaw and Gryffindor, they just, I don't know. I really like
show off some
Slytherin.
Gryffindor.
They would be my second house.
Yeah.
Well, and it's the ambitions what always gets me. Like I want to do more. I want to progress. I want to grow as a person. And I think that really is my defining thing. Yeah. I was honestly didn't know what she was going to test that is. I was surprised she got a Slytherin, but our Slytherin team.
And Roman
She's got an amazing jacket.
to test himself, and he is what? I would have guessed. I would have bet $1 million that you were this, so you didn't even have to tell me.
Yeah.
I came up. I had 2. I had my top 2, but I was leaning. Like I know what your other.
is.
I know what your other half is.
Okay.
I think I do too.
Yeah. Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
Hands
Hufflepuff.
down.
Hands down, Hufflepuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So
With a side of Gryffindor.
Yep. I was gonna say he's a Huff.
So there's a duality, 2 different houses. So yeah, I'm really stoked to be in that Hufflepuff and whatever.
Gryffindor.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so-
you're always. What?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're always a little bit of both. So yeah, that's
Is
you.
he a little bit Hufflepuff
Definitely.
Gryffindor?
He's a Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
Gryffindor. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So Allison,
He's a Grifflepuff.
what house do you align with?
I'm Ravenclaw, but
Yeah.
I am very, very mixed. Like a lot of people are like 60% something and 40% something else, or even higher than that. Like it's a huge difference. I am so like this further away from being Slytherin. So I am almost, yeah. So I'm fine with that. It's interesting to know what you are, because and every house has its good things. And it's funny that you brought up Slytherin, because Slytherin is always, it's always made to be like the bad house in the movie.
Well, for sure. Because, I mean, all the villains,
Right. I mean, if your major villain is in the
Show
house,
I mean,
guys.
we also.
you don't want to be in the house that the worst person in the entire universe is in, and all your villains. But I felt bad for that, like Draco and all those kids. What Crabs and
Crab and Goyle.
Crab and Doyle. They're they're. When you watch it, it's made to think like, oh, bullies are all Slytherin, or only the heroes can be Gryffindor, and
Greatest character is a Slytherin, so there's that.
and then they
Okay.
never really touched a lot on Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff in the movies. I mean,
No.
yeah, Luna was there, and she was Ravenclaw, and
Cedric Diggory was
Cedric
Hufflepuff.
Diggory.
Cedric Diggory was Hufflepuff, yeah.
but they never really touched on it.
And stupid Cho Chang was a Ravenclaw.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and so they're just minor characters. Like, you really get the 2 houses more than you get the other 2.
right.
That's just the thing.
Right.
Yeah, I did the test. Like, I was looking at, yeah. No, it's fine. It's already started.
They there was another test going around recently that there was like, what was that called? It was like a side house, and there were different.
Side house. That sounds scandalous.
It sounds like a side house.
Like I'm cheating on Slytherin with some Ravenclaw on the side.
Yeah,
Got a side house going on.
I don't remember what it was, but it was like the alternate universe houses or something, and it was through Pottermore, but it was really interesting.
And Pottermore, that's what I was pulling up, and now Pottermore's changed to My Wizarding World, like with
Oh, I didn't know that.
app or whatever. Because there's a lot more to it now. Like you do a thing for your favorite characters, which Sirius Black's my favorite character apparently.
Huh, see?
I thought your favorite character was Snape. We'll get into characters later, but
Apparently that says that. But then my Patronus is a Borzoi, which I had to look up what a Borzoi was. Like a little deer thing or a greyhound.
Does anyone know what their liver mounting house is?
Their what?
Their liver mounting house?
Maybe that's what I'm talking about.
The American.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe that's the test I took. So my answer is no, unless you gave me the 4. I can remember. But...
I'm a Thunderbird.
Oh yeah, those are the houses. Yeah, what are the other ones?
I don't remember.
Okay, good.
One. That's
well, maybe I'll look them up while we're doing our next thing.
And then my wand is a pine wood with phoenix feather core.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's another cool thing about this. And I don't want to get into the writing. Well, I can get into the writing in the books, and which translates into the screenplay of the movie, obviously, and the props and everything. I don't want to touch upon the author so much, but it's really brilliant to think that she created these 4 different houses, 4 different sorority type things, as you know, I guess you could say, but every single person within the whole universe has their own wand. You know, your wand chooses you, and there's all different parts to the wand. Everybody.
Right, she built this thing. Like, to build this whole universe is just
right. Right, like the creativity alone is ridiculous, and everybody gets their own wand, and you know, every wand looks different, and they have different hairs in them or different things that comes from it. So
feathers and stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, you got to give that a lot of credit. I don't know a lot of other outside of Star Wars. Maybe I don't know a lot of other franchises or fandoms that goes into that much detail.
Well, and Star Wars has had like since the 70s to do this thing too, which is huge. I mean, when you think about, you know, Harry Potter, like half the time, I mean, right? Yeah.
Star Trek. Star Trek is
Star
another
Trek.
one.
Yeah, Star Trek would be a good. Yeah, that would be another one too.
It's game time.
I'm excited.
This is my first
game time. I'm gonna not do well with this because dates of the movies and things, but we'll see.
This is my first Zoom game. In fact, this is my first game in a long time. I think it's been like episode 9 on the podcast that I did a game. But
yeah, I think this is your second game, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I named it Third Year Prefect for no reason, that it just has the 3 in it. I'm going to give you 3 movies released the same year as a Wizarding World movie. And the first one to guess which movie I'm talking, or which movie came out that year, gets 1,000 points. Not house points, but podcast.
These points that don't really matter anyways, and then
yeah, it's like Whose Line rules.
Yeah, that's the Whose Line points.
Okay,
I love that.
So I don't have an example. I'm just going to give you three movies.
Example.
And if you can guess the Harry Potter movie that came out, Harry Potter or Wizarding World movie, you get those points. So let's go with the first one. And you get extra points if you know the year. Your 3 movies are Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and Shaun of the Dead.
Goblet of Fire.
No.
That's Chamber of Secrets.
That is incorrect.
No.
I know the year.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Sorcerer's Stone.
No.
All right.
Oh, it's
What is the year?
Prisoner of Azkaban.
2003.
There's no movie that came out in 2003.
Prisoner of Azkaban.
It was Prisoner of Azkaban. I'm
That's
going to give it
05?
It's 2004.
It's 2004.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
Yeah.
So Keith gets 1,000 points.
What?
And Allison gets 100 points.
Oh, woohoo.
Thanks for throwing in some little side points there.
All right, number 2. Your movies are Signs, Catch Me If You Can, and The Ring.
That would be Sorcerer's Stone.
No.
2001. Nah, son of a biscuit.
Goblet of Fire.
Nope.
Nope.
This is fun.
Half-Blood Prince?
No.
Oh, this is the first one.
Yeah.
This is. This is the Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's
That's Sorcerer's Stone.
No, he said it. It's wrong.
Chamber of Secrets.
It is Chamber of Secrets.
Ah, Dirty Dog.
So that's what
2002.
02.
Yes,
Yeah.
Allison, 2002.
Yeah, Signs. I saw Signs in That's like one of the last movies I saw in California before I moved here.
I thought
Way
you
to go there, Ace Base.
Oh,
Yeah, these are hard because a lot of them came out in the summer. All right. Number 3. Split. Train to Busan. Moonlight.
that's the
That
only
would
movie I know in
be
that.
Roman with some
okay.
scatting.
Definitely.
Fantastic Beasts.
What?
Fantastical Beasts. Fantastic Beasts. The Beasts.
Fantastic Little Beasts.
Fantastical Beasts. The Beasts.
Which
Fantastic
one?
Beasts and where to find them.
Yeah, Keith got the whole name.
Ah, Dirty Dog.
Keith is up to 3,000. What
I'm
is
making up for how bad I sucked it up at the Marvel trivia thing. Like I really, really didn't do well. But I was also there were a lot of beers involved in that.
anyone can guess? Anyone guess the year?
Moonlight.
Yes, that
that
would
was
be
re-
2013.
No.
What? 20? That was 2017.
Nope.
2018.
No. It was 2016.
Yeah.
No one got extra points on that one.
That
So we got
first one was not my favorite of the whole thing. The second one, though, I really dug.
the first one had to set up the world.
The first
Well, and it
one
did.
spent way
It's-
too much time on the animals.
Oh,
I
man.
fell asleep like
So
twice
cool.
trying to watch it all the way through. And then I finally got all the way through. And I was like, okay, I can appreciate for what it is. The second one, because Jude Law, too. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Young Dumbledore. All right. We got Keith at 3,000. We have Allison at 200. It's anyone's game.
No, it's not.
it's wrong.
I'm going to throw 50 more points in for Slytherin. So they might get the house cup. Your next movie.
Because you can do that. That's the thing, just throw random points at houses.
Where's that?
Your next movie. Your movies are Juno, Superbad, and Ratatouille.
Oh,
That
I know Ratatouille.
that is Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
That is not Goblet of Fire.
What?
Hell.
2006.
No.
Oh, Dirty
Order of
Dog.
the Phoenix.
That is Order of the Phoenix.
Oh, Sirena got one. Nice.
Highest of 5. Yes.
Anyone
Okay,
guess the
Serena,
year?
what year?
What year? That was 08.
07.
07. Allison back on the board with 300 points.
Apparently, all I know is dates.
Bad
Because I
date.
watched Ratatouille.
Ratatouille is a great movie.
Yeah.
Pull the hair.
And your final question, worth 10 million points. Your movies are Cabin in the Woods, Sucker Punch, and Captain America, the First
Goblet
Avenger.
of Fire.
No.
Oh!
Philosopher's Stone. The first one, Philosopher's Stone.
People are just yelling out. Really? Captain America?
No, Captain America was not
Harry
Philosopher's
Potter
Stone.
and the Half-Blood Prince.
Nope.
Cabin in the Woods was 2000.
8.
No.
Prisoner Azkaban.
No. That was 2010.
Nope.
Harry
No.
Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
No,
Nope.
we did not. It's
Harry Potter and the Different
It's Deathly Hallows
Hallows Part 1.
Oh, Allison hit that first.
2010.
And that is 2011.
Ah!
Trust you to hold it down for me.
Oh, so
Hold it down for me for a minute.
2000. You said it was part 2?
Part 1. You got it right.
Part 1 is 2010.
You're right.
All
Part
right.
2.
I know I'm right.
Well,
I
anyway,
just have a game.
Keith won, so
Yay! Yay,
Natalie
still win.
No.
So that means Serena has a rant for 30 seconds.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Serena, sweetheart, do you want to rant for 30 seconds? Just
What?
you want to just talk for 30 seconds? Go for it.
Go on.
You gotta rant, like.
What?
You gotta do, like, hang on. Timer for 12 minutes.
What?
All right, wait, what's happening? I won. I get to do a rant. Does she get to do a rant?
Yeah, you guys both rant.
You're gonna rant it up.
Do a 30-second team rant.
All right, so you get to do rants, like about any movie. Is there any movie that drove you crazy, or about the series, or
It doesn't have to be a movie.
anything?
Yeah,
You can rant about anything.
We've grown from
Coronavirus sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
it can suck it.
Yes.
That's fine.
All right, that was a good 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need a
Go,
hair.
man.
I'm going to tag team to someone else.
Huh?
Coronavirus sucks. Now someone else talk.
He's yielding his time.
I'm yielding my time. Allison,
Yes.
your turn.
You got 20 seconds.
About coronavirus?
By anything. Rant.
Look at that. He's controlling the thing.
I don't have anything to rant about.
Okay.
And time.
to
That
Roman.
I think that was our greatest rant.
No, I was pretty bad.
I was going to go on a great rant about banjo music and then slowly transition to how excited I am for the new Muppets television show on Disney Plus.
Of course you
So,
You should have won
Yeah.
the game then.
oh, I tried. I actually tried. I studied. I just
Studied.
sucked.
All right. So what else do we have on our?
All right.
on the agenda. I have the thing, and I keep forgetting. What do we have left? We have
Characters.
Okay.
characters that we relate to the most. Who are our favorite characters?
Well, I don't relate to anybody, but I can tell you who like favorites and stuff are. But I mean,
Okay. So,
like anybody.
well, let's go around the room. Let's go ahead and go young ladies first. Miss Serena, who's your favorite character from the Harry Potter films and why?
Probably.
Speak up.
Probably. I don't know. Harry Potter.
Is that Harry Potter?
Okay.
Really? That's your favorite? Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Who's your least favorite character, Miss Serena?
Malfoy.
Dang.
Ooh.
Wow.
Dad Malfoy?
Okay.
Lucius
All right.
or
So,
all the
we're-
Malfoys?
All the Malfoys.
All the Malfoys, just all of them.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Well, we will go around the room. Let's keep the lady power going. Allison, same question. Who's your favorite character? And then, who's your least favorite character?
I don't know if I can do just one favorite. That's hard.
I feel you.
Obviously Snape is a favorite of mine.
Okay.
So I'll go with like a good a villain and then a hero. So I guess my favorite hero would be Snape. And then my favorite villain, hands down, is Bellatrix. She is fascinating to me, and I love her. I also love Draco. He is misunderstood, and I love how he grows by the end of the movie. Yeah. But real quick, I thought it was funny when we were talking about, when we were initially talking about the outline, we were saying, you know, who is the worst character and why is it Umbridge? And I found something online, and it said that the top 10 worst Harry Potter characters, and it says number 10, there aren't. Number 9, any characters. Number 8, in the Harry Potter series. Number 7, that deserve to be labeled. Number 6, as the worst. Number 5, because all of the characters. Number 4, have their own characteristics. Number 3, which make them. Number 2, unique and interesting. Number 1, Dolores Umbridge. So at the end of the day, there is nobody that compares to her. She is hands down the worst villain ever in the Harry Potter universe. She's horrible. But
And you were saying, like, so Malfoy, though, like, I mean, he is manipulated like the entire movie. I mean, like he is played really hard. I feel bad for him. The whole I mean, the first movie, not as much. He's just a jerk. But like he becomes manipulated over the time. It's one of those things where like you look at the negatives in humans. Like you think about people that are racist or people are this, but they look at the parents and you look at how they upbring them. Like, I get why they are the way they are.
Yeah. And it wasn't just him. I felt bad for him because he was manipulated by his family, more so his dad. But even towards the end, Narcissa, his mother, really turned different too. She wasn't the best character by the end of the book, but she was completely manipulated by her husband. So it was a vicious cycle with that family. So you can't hate on Malfoy.
Okay. All right. I'm going to move it to my favorite blue hair, who's not my grandpa. That's Mr. Adam.
Hey.
Why don't we go with favorite character?
Hey.
And his is real.
I know which one of you believes in blue more now. I know who you like better. It's fine, Roman. It's fine.
No, I like parts of you, Keith.
We're gonna not talk about those parts. It's fine.
Wow. All right, I just give Roman
her face now. She's like, "What in the world?"
Hey, Marge Simpson, go ahead. You're on the clock.
All right. So, oddly enough, my favorite character is not a main character. It's Arthur Weasley. He's my absolute favorite character. He's enamored by everything in the mundane world, and he just wants to learn more. And he loves his family, and he'll do anything while working for this horrible corporation to provide for his family and basically just learn. And I just think that's really cool. And he gets overlooked a lot because the Weasleys are this quirky family that seem to be just placed in there to give Harry a place to go. But I think Arthur Weasley is just one of the highlights of the entire series.
Okay. Least favorite.
I don't know. I don't think
I didn't answer my least favorite. I just said Umbridge isn't my least favorite. My least favorite is Miss Ginny Weasley.
No.
I have to agree. She was put in there for no reason, and there's no really redeeming factor behind.
In the books, she's great. In the movie, she's underdeveloped. Like they underutilize her as a character. So I agree.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Is Arthur Weasley the one that ended up marrying Fleur Delacour?
No, he's the dad.
Oh, he's the dad.
Oh, never mind.
No, you're talking about
Percy?
Weasley is in his name. Ronald Weasley.
Ronald, yeah. Percy.
But no, like, yeah, and then one of the Weasleys turns up as a terrible human being in the Star Wars universe, so there's that whole thing.
Oh, I love General Hux.
Yeah. Who's your favorite character, Roman?
Oh, so many to choose from. I just can't choose one. All of them.
No, you should.
No. I like for the Fantastic Beasts, the guy, the heavyset guy.
You like the Muggle?
That is part of the whole thing.
You like the Muggle? That doesn't count.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I like the heavyset guy who makes
and
it
Fogler from Balls of Fury.
That doesn't count.
Yes. Fang's Mansion. I like him, and the reason why I like his character is because and he was very intelligently written in the. I haven't read the book, but in
There's
terms
no book.
No, there's not great. Now I look great. Please edit that out. Thank you. So I like how he's written because he is the everyman to be caught up in this environment.
Right, he's the audience.
Yeah, he's the audience member, and unlike other characters that are inserted as the audience member, if you will, where you learn along this universe, it's in such a classy way. And the way the actor and the guy who plays him is actually underrated. I honestly feel that way. I'm sorry. Every time I look at you, I just see Marge Simpson. I'm sorry, Adam. Thank you. But I we talked about this in prep, how much I honest to goodness love the Fantastical Beasts, because it's 1920s. It has that whole garb. It has that whole swanky feel to it. You know, I love that environment. I love the grit, how they made New York City look. You know, it's awesome. Least favorite character, let's go with, you know what? I'm going to have to go with, well, how about the nose of Voldemort? How about that? Yeah, that's one thing that when, oh yeah, at least favorite character right now, and apparently it wasn't just mine, but it didn't make the cut.
That's a good one. I mean,
Yeah, you're
Oh,
welcome.
his nose got the cut all right.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you
It's
go.
like a train wreck. You can't stop looking at it.
It really is. You know, I mean, how does Harry not with his wand kind of go?
Just stick it in there, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing about Voldemort is, I'm holding my wand.
Yes. Yeah, why did he hold it like that? Like it's so dainty.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to cast a spell on you. Wait.
Now, if you
And they
were
get
to-
mad when someone knocks it out of your hand. Like, dude, you
Yeah.
were barely holding it.
So,
Abracadabra.
I'm gonna choose. So I'm gonna do this in a different. All right. So I have 2 least favorite characters
okay.
because I'm a teacher, and Umbridge sucks. Like she legit tortured kids. Like wrote in their arms. Like you know it was not. And then Vernon.
Yes.
He is a terrible. I mean, his eyes bother me. That's a whole other thing. But like, no, he's a terrible, terrible human being. Like,
Yes.
the treatment to Harry Potter is not. That's not okay.
Vernon and Petunia Dursley. Petunia kind of felt a little bit of remorse. She had like a little teeny soft spot for Harry. They are horrible human beings. Dudley obviously changed his tune halfway through the series when Harry saved him. But Vernon and Petunia are horrible, horrible people that kept him.
Terrible. So then I'm going to do a top 5 because that's how I like to do things because John Cusack taught me to do top 5. So number 5, the Sorting Hat.
This is your favorite?
No, I'm top five favorites.
Okay.
Sorting Hat's number 5 because I don't know. To me, that was amazing. Like just to watch. I don't know. This hat, like you put it on the head, and it was a little salty and a little like grumpy, and
It was salty. He was throwing shade.
Oh, he threw a lot of shade, and like when he was sitting on Harry's head, and he might be a little crooked, like because Harry was. Let's just be real. Harry was definitely a Slytherin, but like he ran with what Harry wanted instead of that thing. So there's that. Let's see. I've got my list here. Barty Crouch Jr. And it's more just because the actor that played him, because
Oh yeah, David Tennant.
Like he's great, and it was such a weird role. Like I mean, he went off the deep end, and like he went full David Tennant on it, and it's fine. Like that piece. Number 3. Where did I go? The Weasley twins. I'm picking 2 because I'm cheating. Because comedic relief for one thing, and I mean it sucked to lose one of them. But like the comedic relief, the bond between them, and the fact that they kind of had this like at the end they had this like middle finger to the world. Like they were just like, you know what, we're gonna do the thing. We're gonna do what makes us, Anyway, sorry, I'm getting grief over the.
Yeah, they opened up their joke shop. They didn't care what other people wanted them to do.
Right, it was the only thing that was thriving. I mean, like,
Yeah.
everything else is dying, and they're still thriving.
Yeah, they were like the punk rock counterculture.
Yes.
I'm at number 2, and that's Severus Snape. And I went into the movies not having read the books first. So I had no idea, like, watching the first movie, kind of what I was getting into him. And then I had heard, like, I did the big book releases, and I'm like, oh no, Snape's terrible. Like, he did that. Like, that can't be okay. And then you get the backstory, and you understand him as a human being. And there's so much comedic pieces of it where, he pushes their faces down. Like, he does and then shoves their faces down in the books. I mean, those pieces for me, like, I don't know. And it's part of it's the actor. He was just such a actor in everything he ever did. I mean, like, Die Hard. I mean, these movies were, to me, he was just it. And then number one is Sirius Black. I mean, again, we talk about actors that just play a role and own that role. I mean,
I like Sirius Black being a wolf.
oh, it's the wolf. Yeah. I mean, the change. So there's the changing back and forth. There's that. But again, it's the selling you on being a bad guy, but then selling you on the I am actually not a bad. I mean, he kind of ran the whole thing. For me, Sirius was my favorite. But Gary Oldman. I mean, come on, it's Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman is. I mean, I feel like he just lives every role he plays. He runs that stuff, and he made you care about him. And then I don't know that I've cried harder than his death. Like that for me was probably Dumbledore sucked. That one was like, it hit me in the.
When Sirius died in the book, I actually threw the book.
Like across the room, like, I'm done with you.
Yeah, I'm not accepting this.
No, like, I refuse to say. And in the movie,
I cried when Sirius Black died.
yeah, she did, and then I did, and she's looking at me like, you're crying, and I'm like, yeah, I'm crying, you're crying, like, it's not okay, like, don't make fun of me. And she does. She will pick on me because, like, we watched like, what did we watch?
We watched like an animation kind of movie.
I don't remember. Oh, when we watched the dog movie, the dog and the cat. Crap, why can't I remember the name of the movie?
That's like
You know,
Oh, and Otis?
and Chance and
Oh, Homeward Bound?
Homeward Bound.
I cry every time I watch that movie. When Chance or when Shadow hobbles his way over and I cry every time. She laughs at me. I cried
We
though.
also cried in Call of the Wild.
Call of the Wild. So you cry at animal movies, Keith. We got it.
Oh no, the animals dying hurt me way more than people dying. But Sirius Black hit me like they had formed a bond. Like Harry was finally had a home. He had someone, and he loses it, and you're just like, man, Harry can't And for me, it hit a thing because like growing up, whenever I have felt comfortable in a place, it always changed, or like whoever my guardian was at the time changed, and it hit a place that I was not ready for. I definitely balled up, baby. But as a character, he was so diverse and so like relatable. I don't know.
We
wanted Sirius Black to be my dad. Like that was where I was at with it.
Yes.
we have a little we have an extra show that we did last night that'll come up after this episode. You should watch it because our guest on that show, he also chose Sirius Black, and he talks a lot about his past, what he actually read into a lot about Sirius and Sirius, what he did. He talks about how he was in, did he say he was in a punk band?
He was.
And stuff?
Yes.
And he goes
and he had a turnip thrown at him.
Yeah, he goes into detail a lot with Sirius and how he's, rebellious, and even though he was in prison falsely and he came out, people still treated him like crap and stuff like that. So you're not the only one who likes.
For Sirius to have turned out the way he did, he went through some stuff.
Yeah.
And you look at the friendship that he still carried with his friends, with Harry's parents, just that group of people. And there's just it sucks to like have to pick one, or for me 5 because I suck in so it's hard to pick those because for me you get so attached to them all. Like there's so many of them. You're just like, man, those are great characters, well written, and then for J.K. Rowling to be such a crazy person, but
I would probably like to take a minute. So, Keith, what do you think, you being a father, what do you think is the legacy of Harry Potter? Like 50 years from now, the same way that we look at Huckleberry Finn and some of the classics, what do you think would be the legacy of Harry Potter?
I think about it so for me, we can think about it in book. I mean, I don't know if you think about it in book or movies. for me, I have a, like, we were talking about tentacles. I have a tentacle of the Wizard of Oz hanging on my wall.
Okay.
Because my grandmother and I, like, my grandparents raised me. So my mother and I, like, that was our movie. That was the thing we would sit and we would watch. And it had this huge meaning to me. I honestly, that movie to me is timeless. I go back and watch it now, and the graphics are, you know, what they are, but like it's still, it means something to me. I hope that, like, for her, they'll still mean something for her soon, like in the future.
What,
And I
Harry
honestly,
Potter
I mean,
series?
yeah, I think they're timeless. I mean, I'm watching the first one, and like we're watching it in the background now.
Yeah.
Has it aged extremely well? Not the best, but some of the other ones have. Honestly, I hope, though, these movies will be timeless. They'll be those movies, even if it's just like you think about Christmas season for me. That's when I want to watch them more, because it puts me in that spirit for some reason or another. I hope that, you know, she's 10 when she's 30 and thinking about having kids and wants to do that thing, and she wants to share movies. I hope that she will share them with her kids and be like, this is something that I used to watch with my dad, and this is the thing that meant the world to us that we, you know, we cherish.
Okay.
I think it transcends, because of the magic piece of it. I think it transcends some of the tech stuff that we think about when we think about movies. When I go back and watch a movie from the 80s and like, oh, that could have been solved now by, like, you could have just picked up a cell phone and, you know, you watch The Breakfast Club. Yeah. Man, those kids would have just been on their cell phones the entire time. This kind of transcends that because they go to a school where that tech stuff doesn't matter anymore, where they depend on wizardry and stuff that we don't have access to. And I hope that that's something that still means something.
Adam, same question. What do you feel is going to be the legacy of Harry Potter 50 years from now? What will stand out to you?
Well, I think Keith said it perfectly. I mean, it's absolutely timeless. The fact that you don't know, you don't even know what era it is unless you look into the mundane world. You don't even need that. It's just, there's just something about it that'll never be undone by it. The connection of the characters, the story. I mean, the story is as old as its time. It's, you know, good versus evil, with twists. But that's nothing wrong with that. That can connect an entire, you know, new generation. And I think it's a good thing that will never. It might lose its luster for a bit, but it'll come back.
Yeah, there's nothing else I can say. Like, I mean, you guys both hit it nail on the head. It's timeless. So yeah, you don't know what era it is when you're watching it, really. So like Keith said, you know, you're going into this fantasy world. So it doesn't matter if it's, you know, 20 years from now, you can still visit that world. I hope that I'm trying really hard to get my 6-year-old to like it, and he wants nothing to do with it. And I don't know if that's because he's already a little mini teenager and he's like, whatever mom likes is not cool and I don't want anything to do with it.
Until 8 she really picked up on this.
I got 2 years left. I did turn on the first one the other day, and he was like, you know, doing his thing, and then I'd catch him like looking up and like asking me questions, and I wasn't pushing it and I wasn't looking excited, because if I looked excited, heaven forbid, then he would like turn it off. But I hope he gets into it. If not, no big deal. Harry Potter will be a part of me for my whole life because it's tattooed on my body. So it's not going anywhere. It's timeless to me. It means that much to me. And I hope it keeps bringing more kids into the world of reading. So
yeah. Okay, excellent. So it's our favorite time whenever we have a guest. That is called what, Allison?
3 in the street and 3 in the seat. God, you made me mess it up too.
Yeah. So
at least be like a 7. Like, why gotta be a 3? All right, it's fine.
Trust me, we all agree you're a 3, Keith.
Oh yeah, you're a 7, but it's a 3. That's too many questions.
Mike would think I'm a 7.
I know you guys have a special
Mike's,
relationship.
Mike's been around a 10 for you know.
Mike's a 10.
A while.
Yeah, me. I'm the 10.
Yeah.
10.
You are.
Okay.
Alice even put makeup on for us. Look at that. It's like, that's the thing.
I always put makeup on. And I did blue for Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm a million.
You are a million.
You really are.
You are a million. You're infinity. Okay, so real quick, you guys can both answer the questions, okay?
Okay.
They've been changed a little bit. So, we might have already touched on this, but quick, who is your most annoying Harry Potter character? Annoying. It just really bothers you.
I can answer this right away. Dobby.
Dobby. I love that answer. Dobby drives me crazy.
She's super mad that I even said that. Dobby,
I'm with you. I thought I was the only person that can't stand Dobby. Like, okay, you lost your socks. Give him his socks. Move on. You're annoying. I don't like you.
Yeah, Dobby kind of ruined
Voice
the second
everything.
movie.
All right. Who's your most annoying character?
This is hard. I mean, because sometimes Malfoy isn't a little bit of annoying.
Malfoy's annoying? Yeah, he could be annoying.
Yeah, because he can get like really annoying whenever like Harry Potter like gets mad at him, like in the first one that just showed up like 30 minutes ago or something like that. It was when they were trying to catch the.
When they're on the brooms the first time.
Yeah, and he was just like taking the ball that his friend had, and like that wasn't like he. You know,
that's what she's talking about.
Annoyed.
When they're learning how to ride the brooms, and he
Yeah.
takes it off like just to be a jerk.
Yeah, he's a jerk the first couple movies. All right, I like it. Okay, what is your favorite snack to eat when you're watching a movie?
Popcorn or candy.
Always popcorn for this one.
Popcorn? Okay.
I like Bunch of Crunches because I have diverticulitis and popcorn makes me not feel good. Bunch of Crunches.
Bunch of Crunches. Okay.
It's super. I don't know. You guys, because
It's
let's
kind of like
let's all
popcorn.
pretend we've never been to Five Below right next to AMC before we.
No, we
Really
always
thing.
pay.
Kind of like
We always pay $10 for
popcorn
food.
because I mean it's crunchy and like popcorn's kind of like crunchy and it's.
Do you like chocolate candy in your popcorn? Because that's what I do. I pour snow caps on my popcorn.
What? I've never tried that before.
You're nuts. It's that sweet and salty. Try it.
Salty.
Thank me later. Okay. Next.
She loves snow caps. That's her. She
I love
loves.
snow caps. All right, Serena, if you can be any movie character, not Harry Potter, just any movie character, who would it be?
Hermione.
Okay, Hermione. How
Smart.
about you?
I like it. Me?
Yes.
Ooh. Any movie character?
Any movie character.
Oh man. I always tell my students that it would be Darth Vader.
Darth Vader's pretty cool.
Because Darth Vader,
Darth Vader's like
he's like he does the wrong thing a fair amount of his life, succumbs to the dark side, like takes all the power. But in the end, when it comes down to his kids, he does the right thing. And for me, that's that to me resonates because as a parent, I just never wanted to like completely fail.
Star
I always
Wars
wanted to be
is
decent, and yeah.
Star Wars and my
Plus,
favorite
I mean,
character
come
is
on,
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
Okay.
I would force choke somebody. Like there are people that would be force choked. It'd be a thing.
All right, quick. What's your favorite smell?
Smell?
Favorite smell.
Probably like marshmallows being roasted.
Ooh.
I mean,
that's
like burnt,
good.
kind of.
Good answer.
She likes them when they burn a little bit.
Yeah, I do
I like
too.
when they burn. I don't like it when they're like toasted.
Okay.
I like jasmine when it's raining, so like it becomes super floral like and fragrant. So
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What is a song that you always can jam out to?
I know what you're thinking.
Well, I mean, it's hard to choose one of them, but like,
Just give me one.
well, can I give you the name of it? Because
Yes.
like all of her songs are like amazing.
Just go ahead.
Taylor Swift.
Which one?
There's only one Taylor Swift.
No, which song?
Long.
I don't know.
Any song? Any Taylor Swift song?
So for her birthday, I gave her, or no, Valentine's Day, I gave her a vinyl of the new Taylor. Not the, I guess there's a new one now. But
there's like a new
I gave her the Lover one on vinyl or whatever. But
Okay.
she'll get down to pretty much all the songs on that one. She likes what is it, the one with Brandon.
Oh, Me.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, good one. What about you? What do you jam out to? I mean, we know you have crappy taste in music, but no
It's
judgment.
the worst. It's the absolute worst. Hall & Oates every time.
All right.
I need to get in a good mood. I'm gonna play Rich Girl and I'm gonna get pumped. Like,
But no particular song, just Hall & Oates. And
no, Rich Girl by
Rich
Hall
Girl,
Oates.
okay.
I mean,
Okay.
like any Hall & Oates song. I mean, there's so many. But
All right, very good. Okay,
I'm really
last.
sad we can't go see them.
Yes, we are next year. It got rescheduled.
Yeah, next year.
Fingers crossed. Okay, last one. What's your favorite sandwich?
Favorite sandwich.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly?
Yeah, she's
Red
full.
jelly though.
She's full on peanut butter and jelly. I'm full on peanut butter and jelly, but strawberry jelly. Strawberry
That's
preserve.
your favorite sandwich is peanut butter and jelly.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, hands down.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
Peanut butter and jelly with strawberry preserves.
Got it. All right.
All right. Well, you guys can come in my kitchen anytime. I can totally master that like that.
Yeah, those are easy sandwiches to
I'm
make.
gonna say, but I'll never say no to like. Have you guys
Nope.
been to Beer Boutique?
Who?
In the Beer Boutique in St. Pete, they do a candied bacon, like BLT, and they like candy the bacon before they make it, and it's like this big. I mean, it's.
That sounds good, but you said peanut butter and jelly, so you can't
Yeah.
go back now.
Yeah.
I suck it up and deal with it.
So everyone else will have panini. You will have your peanut butter and jelly sandwich with
That's
no
right.
I
crust.
recommend going to Beer Boutique in St. Pete. You should do it.
Okay, everybody.
Okay,
Go to
well,
your boutique.
thank you.
All right,
Thank
thanks
you.
for playing our game. Well, it's not really a game. Thanks for answering a question.
I believe that is essentially it. Am I right? Am I getting too muggled up here?
You are right.
All right. Well, Keith, how can our friends and family and friends of the podcast and Zoomcast follow you?
At Bay Area Beer Blogger, all one thing, on Instagram or Facebook. Website hopefully will be back up again soon. I'm just dealing with work things too. So yeah, those two things. You can come see me at Descent Craft Brewing in St. Pete. I have stickers to give out for my blog that you guys can have in your fridges or wherever else you want to put them. I occasionally help out like Mike Brew at Overflow. There are all sorts of ways you can come see me. All on the interwebs. That's the best way.
Okay.
Hey, on Instagram and Facebook, or Keith Owen 22 on Instagram or Bay Area Beer Blogger. That's
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're a fantastic follow. Really, really are.
So make sure you like and follow us, and make sure you go on our website because we're putting up a lot of content. Well, I'm not, but the other two are. Roman put up a really good article like he brought up earlier and why he's not a really big Harry Potter fan. Read stuff that he puts up there. Read stuff that Adam puts up there and the reviews. They're really good writers. Like they pour their hearts and souls out, and that's why I'm not writing on there because I'd rather talk. I can't really write very well. So do that. Leave comments. Go on there. Don't bash Roman, but tell him why he's wrong. But yeah,
We love Roman, and Roman loves the fact that we love it. So
that's right. That's right. But I really want people to go on our website and watch stuff because it's really cool. It's really cool what we're doing. So please do that. Cinemadnesspodcast.com. Yeah. So thank you, Roman, for letting us take over this week of 2 episodes on a topic you don't care about. I really appreciate it, and we owe you a lot of baseball and big fish episodes in the near future.
I love baseball too. So I feel you.
So everybody, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you, Sirena. This was fun.
No problem.
Thank you for coming back, Keith, and good luck with school. And everybody be safe, wear your masks. And Keith, good luck going back to school and be safe. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.